I'll start with what it's not about. It's definitely not about targeting powerful men, right?
Yeah.
No, even in Alyssa's initial tweet that started people posting online, she didn't call for anything except for people to make a statement to say, this thing happened to me.
Right.
Beyond that, before that, when the women came out around Harvey Weinstein, they didn't make a call for anything. They literally were trying to find a space to tell their truth. They were trying to be believed and heard in a way that they hadn't been historically.
Yeah.
And the fallout from that is a corporate response and a media response, right? So they gave their truth, and as a response to that, these corporations said, we won't deal with you anymore. You can't work here, you can't be a part of this. That's not what they asked for. I'm sure they're quite fine with the outcome, but you know.
In some instances, in most
Right.
instances, yeah.
And so for what the movement is actually about, it's two things. This is a movement that is about supporting survivors of sexual violence and making sure they have the resources that they need to find or craft a healing journey.
Okay.
And the second part is, the tool for that I think is the power of empathy, empowerment through empathy, among other things. The second part about that is when I talk about radical community healing. What we should be talking about in this moment is the numbers, the thousands, millions of people who have come forward and shared their experience with sexual violence across the spectrum, whether they've been sexually harassed in the workplace or sexually assaulted or abused as a child. People are coming forward in record numbers and publicly talking about the kind of violence that they have had to deal with in their lives. There should be a community response to that. This is about, when I say radical community healing, I mean concretely, what laws and policies have to change? How does the culture have to shift in order to create safe spaces so people feel safe and protected, and the most vulnerable among us feel safe and protected? I feel like everything else outside of that is a distraction from the reality that there's like all of these people yelling and screaming for help, and we're like, can we hug in the age of Me Too?